Welcome to the Glacially Musical Podcast. It is beer, metal, and swearing. Of course, I'm Nick Cameron, the visionary leader of Glacially Musical, and I'm joined by my good friend, a guy who's always so polite, who's always going to say, "How are you now?" Keefy, Saskatchewan. How we doing today, buddy?
Well, I'm doing this podcast because it's better than watching the Yankees get swept in the World Series. It was
Uh,
brutal.
can I tell you something? Can I be honest with you right now? Like, real serious honest? I know those feels, bro.
I know you do.
For me, it was 204. And the Cardinals had not been to the World Series at that point in 17 years, but much like the Yankees. But I will also say that that year ushered in a golden era for the Cardinals. So all Mike Judge has to do is start hitting in the damn postseason, and there you go. So welcome to another episode of the Glacier Musical Podcast, Beer, Metal, Swearing, and Vinyl. If you are here for the new series on the early records of Foreigner, thank you. We're all foreigners somewhere. Peace and love. Here are the departments of the show: beer check, vinyl check, news check, shirt check, big surprise guest. Then the meat of the episode featuring Don De Lemont, features of Southeast of Heaven, and time for the Glacier Musical beer check. Second Shift Brewing, Dissatisfied DIPA. Finger fudge pour down the middle, straight up Paul Stanley on the aircraft carrier.
Didn't know why you muted yourself too early there. I don't have a beer. I just have another Waterloo seltzer. So no murder your thirst this week.
You
Just
can't even third
Waterloo.
your immersed. I mean, what do you do with that?
No, orange vanilla. It's actually, I love Waterloo. It's the house brand, I think, for Costco. I do love them.
I don't do Costco. I should,
I
but then
know.
I'm worried that I'd fill up my house
It's
with
easy
all
to
their
like get carried away there. It's true.
with all their stuff. So, moving on, my vinyl check this week. This is a classic. This is from our everyone's favorite uncle, back when everyone's favorite uncle was a part of a band. Alice Cooper, Billion Dollar Babies. This is the wallet, of course. Actually, I believe it only comes in the wallet, in the mylar sleeve, in the inner sleeve. This is a antique mall pickup, so no inserts, no nothing like that. But you know what it does have on it? You know what it does have? It's got Billion Dollar Babies all the way through the whole song. And then like other songs too. So definitely worth the 15 bucks I dropped on it. And that is it.
Let's discuss for a second about how like Alice Cooper was like a visionary album design artist. Like he had so many good inventive album artworks and packages at that time. I think that helped him sell. Even the music was great, he's great, but like I think also there was a whole aesthetic he had, right?
Yes, he definitely created a whole thing for Kiss to rip off. And I think we don't ever really give Alice enough credit for how much Kiss stole from him. And the idea of the four Alice Coopers, the idea of this cool physical stuff, this giveaway stuff, and the album School's Out. It folds out into a school desk, and then it comes with underpants to put on the sleeve is underpants, which makes no sense because a record one doesn't have legs, it doesn't have a butt crack, and it's got no front crack. So I mean, it makes no sense. But you know what? He did something. They did something different, and so many bands. Nobody did that before Alice Cooper. If you think about records and the physical packaging of albums before Alice Cooper, it was nothing interesting. It would be like their photo in black and white, and it would have their name and then the track listing on the front cover. Even the Doors didn't really do anything cool until, I mean, never. They never did anything. The coolest thing they did was LA Woman First Pressing had rounded corners. That's not that much, bro. I don't even know why you would do that, to tell you the truth.
Yo, fair enough. My vinyl check this week is a record I really love, and we and not an artist we have ever talked about here. I don't think. I own two records by this artist. This is the Slits, the seminal ska punk band. little
You
bit of
gotta
reggae, a
like
little bit of
cover
punk
up
rock.
the. You gotta cover up
Yeah, they're covered with
the
sand. I
pricklies.
know.
I had to
They're
cover up
covered
on
with
Jane's Addiction.
they're covered. They're covered. The Slits, this is the album Cut with their, amazing hit song Instant Hit and Typical Girls, two of their biggest hit songs. The lead singer was Ari Up. She passed away some time ago. There's a more recent pressing of this one that's like a record store day from last year, but I already had this.
That
This
explains why I
is
saw so many pictures of that cover last year.
Yes, but this is from a few years before that. This is from a prior pressing from the UK, and it's got this fun insert with a cartoon storytelling that actually I think coincides with some of the songs. And then the very thick 180-gram vinyl. It was a very thicky boy in the mylar already. Been played, been spun. This is the Classic Island Records label with the sort of gradient. So side one has a gradient of light to darker blue, and then side two is the dark blue, so you knew which one was which. I'm pretty sure it's a choice, not a mistake.
What is the thickest gram record you have? Because I have one album. My copy of Amused to Death, the 20-something re-release was 200 gram. And I'm
Yeah,
like, this makes no sense because I don't
I
think the heavier weight stuff does anything.
doesn't do anything. I think there's a one of my Floyds is a 220-gram Floyd, and I don't know why I did that.
220? That's like Andre the
It's
Giant
useless.
level vinyl.
Anybody want a peanut?
No more rhymes, I mean it. Alrighty, moving on to the news check. I got 2 bits of news. One is super short, and we'll just say RIP to legendary funny lady Terri Garr. I did see Chelsea Handler last week, which was slightly disappointing. The Bill Cosby jokes, which were a true story, and the George W. Bush jokes, which were also true stories, not spectacular. But the big metal news today is Primus has announced that Tim Herb Alexander has quit the band as of 2 weeks ago. And I actually sent a text to my buddy at work who's a big fan, and I'm like, hey, pour one out for you, buddy. So I'm sure they'll find somebody because there are 1,000 drummers that will play, excuse me, that are willing to play for Primus. And I'm sure they can find one that doesn't suck.
Their message about this is very concerning. So, like, first of all, I'm going to say that Primus was supposed to go on a hiatus and not come back for a long time 2 years ago, and they just kept getting tour offers and taking them, but they were supposed to go away. Like Les was saying, he was burned out and wanted a break from Primus to do other things. And then they just kept getting offers. They did a Coheed and Cambria tour just recently. They did the Sasanta Collective tour, which is Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle. They already had just announced another year of the Sasanta tour, as well as Tool's Destination Festival, which is weird to me, but they're doing like the 2-day resort show in the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana, and Primus is a big part of that. So for the Punta Cana show, Danny Carey of Tool played drums with Primus. He's filled in before. And then for the tour they have right after that, they're going to have to find somebody. So they said in their message, we're going to go find the best drummer in the world. So for people who want
I think Lars Ulrich has a job.
Brian Brain Manta is not coming back, probably. That's, clear. So
that's Buckethead's guy, right?
Well, he was Primus's guy first. Anyway. Anywho, that's that. Yeah, no more not no more Primus, but like you're not great to lose your drummer.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things I have learned about when you get to a certain level in the musical world, you can find somebody that can step in right away. I didn't interview him, but I reviewed a Felix Martin show, and the bass player he had, his normal bass player, his best friend, had other commitments, so he couldn't do other tour. And the bass player is like, we were talking outside, and he's like, yeah, they just called me, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I could learn these songs instead of playing, God, what was that MMORPG everybody played a couple years ago? Not Fortnite, but
Minecraft?
Elder Scrolls, the Elder Scrolls.
Oh, Elder Scrolls.
It's like, yeah, I'll just be sitting home playing Elder Scrolls. So yeah, I learned all these in the airport. And this is music where he's playing literally a double neck, 16 string and 18 string bass. He's like, yeah, I learned all these songs 2 days ago. All right then. So yeah, they'll be able to find somebody. They'll be able to move forward.
All right, your second news item is?
I already gave them both.
I guess.
And I threw a third one in too, and nobody even
You did
noticed.
do it. You did. So really quick, I have a big week of shows. As the world is ending, I'm trying to get as much action as possible, fun and action. So, Testament, Kreator, Possessed, the last day of the tour was the other night here in San Francisco, was amazing. After this show tonight, I'm going to see Girl School down the block and around the corner from my house. Their
Still pissed
farewell
off that
show.
Testament Kreator tour did not come here.
Yeah, there's supposedly going to be another leg of this tour announced next year.
Well,
so
then they'll come here.
Yeah.
Because
they
typically come on every tour.
Testament played only the Legacy and the New Order, nothing past 1989. I was thrilled. High School Keefy was really excited.
So they didn't play
always
the
great.
Ritual.
They did not play the Ritual, no. And nobody wants that record. It's just terrible.
I just remember because my good friend of mine used to make fun of it.
Yeah, that's like their Pink Bubbles Go Ape album. It's not good. They tried to sell out too soon. They were like, oh, people are picking on us for sounding like Metallica. We're trying to, I don't know. It didn't work. Kreator is great, but Kreator, I love Kreator. They're one of the greatest bands in thrash metal. But one funny thing about them is they're angry, and except for at God, I don't know what else they're mad about. We're mad. What about? I don't know. It's like Arch Enemy. Revolution. Why? Who cares? Like, that's Arch Enemy.
Wait a minute. So what it is what are you rebelling against? What do you got? The first thing you said.
Yeah, whatever, something. Mad
I got another hour into Casino.
I didn't finish my
I'm sorry.
micro review, but okay. I do want to hear about Casino really quick. But Possessed also opened, and they were fantastic. And I saw Jeff briefly. He's a big Ghost Cult fan and a big supporter of mine. So like whenever I see him, I give him like, "Oh, what's up, bro?" And we'll do another interview with him again. They're working on new music slowly, hopefully for next year or the year after.
Is Larry Lalonde on the Possessed tour?
No.
Okay.
No. He has come out and played like 7 churches with them occasionally, but like, no, he's not. They're not unfriendly to each other, and I'm sure Larry is getting residuals and
so
stuff.
Was he not on the last album? I never actually heard it.
He has not been on a Possessed record in 35 years. No.
I would like to see a Blind Illusion and Possessed double tour featuring Exodus and Slayer.
You're funny. Anyway, both those bands I've seen in the last year here in San Francisco.
Oh, Blind Illusion. Forbidden too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love Forbidden, and more. Let's throw Mordred in there while we're at it.
No, you got to have people in 2 bands. So like you've got.
Fun fact: the way people talk about Exhorder and Pantera, people should talk about Mordred. I don't think you know that band, otherwise you would have perked up.
I do not.
Mordred had the Faith No More epic sound before they did. I'm not saying that's all Faith No More could do, but Mordred was literally thrash.
What is that name? What's that from?
Well, it comes from like Merlin. It's like the wizard who is.
Merlin. That was the Black Knight in the Excalibur show. Mordred, the evil wizard knight.
Yeah. So, good show. Girl School tonight. Opeth on Halloween for me. So I'll have that to talk about.
I have not seen Opeth in 20 years. I could go for that.
You should see them. They're growling again, so definitely go. I like progressive rock, weird psychedelic rock. Opeth, and most people don't. I love it.
I like the weird stuff by all bands.
Yeah. Now the real news item that we have been avoiding for weeks and weeks, and I didn't really prepare very well, but we're gonna just shut the corn, buddy.
Let's just
smash or pass.
Yes.
This is Record Store Day, Black Friday, coming up in less than a month. In three and a half months.
Your city just is the greatest sound effects board.
Caw, caw, caw.
It's like we're gonna go out into the wild and find records. Caw, caw, caw.
Crikey, we're stalking the wild vinyl of San Francisco.
I'm gonna stick me finger up his bum. It'll really piss it off.
That's
from South Park.
I was gonna say that kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones. Also, tell me about Casino really quick. Record Store Day.
I got another hour into Casino.
It's still not over because it's like 3 hours.
No, that thing is long, man. This could have been a mini series. Probably would have been a better mini series than it was. But I mean, it was 1994. We didn't do that back then. But no, I mean, I'm loving Joe Pesci. I got to the point where They had just beaten up James Woods, which I mean, James Woods as an actor is one of my absolute favorites, but as a human being, he is
He's a
utter garbage
horrible.
trash.
He's a
So
horrible person.
he's like Jimmy Page plus Roger Waters level terrible now, and way more talented than both of them.
No.
What?
Did you just say James Woods is more talented than Roger Waters or Jimmy Page? What are you
Yes.
high?
As an
You
actor,
are.
he is a better actor than they are musicians. Yes.
No,
Yes.
no, no.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes.
You exaggerate too
I'm
much.
not exaggerating on no.
Your one
I'm
fatal
no.
flaw is that you exaggerate too much sometimes.
Look, you can call me Captain Hyperbole, but this ain't that weak. No, James Woods is a tremendous, tremendous underrated actor, and his role in the Clerks cartoon is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Fuck that guy, man. Like, no,
I
man,
know,
he's not
but
better than Jimmy. I will never like if you want to disparage your hero, you could go ahead. He's not better than Roger Waters. He's certainly not more talented. Jimmy Page is one of the most revolutionary songwriters and guitarists
okay, you know
of all
what?
time.
Okay,
Roger
not
Waters,
both
the
of them.
best lyricist
Okay,
ever. Come
not
on, and
both
I
of them
hate the
put
guy.
together. Not both of
Come
them put
on,
together.
bro. Come
Okay, fair.
on.
He's one of the best actors of the '90s and '80s.
That's fair. I would go back. Yeah, even before I would go back.
I mean, he's
Unfortunately, I hate him now.
yeah, I hate him. I want to
The
kick him in the
schmuck
nuts.
on wheels.
I want to give him what Ace gave him in Casino.
Herpes? Oh, beat down.
Well,
Sorry.
no, I didn't say that. Just what Ace gave.
I,
Ace, was like, "Here, take my money too."
oh
And then
yeah,
he goes,
take
and
my,
then he
the
goes
next
out
time
with,
better bring a gun.
and then he walks out with a couple of hired goons, and you know where that goes. And then Sharon Stone is like complaining to Joe Pesci about what he did, and I'm like, I don't know, man. This is not the guy you complain to about this stuff. This is the guy that does that stuff. In fact, this is the guy that sets you up.
It's kind of funny that she didn't put it together that it was Nikki who is Ace's muscle, basically. Like that he didn't. Why didn't
There's
she
no,
put it together that he did it? Like she
yeah.
didn't put it
There's no
together.
basically. I mean, he is the, he's like Ace.
What are you gonna muscle Nikki? Nikki is the muscle.
It's like he wouldn't even do it himself. He sent those cartel guys. Oh yeah. Ace sent the cartel guys. Nikki didn't just tap the two dudes in the car next to him and said, "By the way."
All right. So you're not quite done with Casino. You're working on it.
No,
Still
I got
getting
like
to the-
half that damn thing. I'm going through it.
All
Okay,
right,
Record
all
Store
right.
Day, Smash Your Pass. Let's do this quickly.
I'm gonna go as quickly as
which we've
possible.
never done.
Well, I'm gonna try. So no three. I'm not gonna do any 3-inch records. Nothing too much out of genre.
Just 12-inch. Just do 12-inch LPs. I'm gonna give up, down. It's gonna be up, thumbs up, thumbs down, or mid.
You can't do a thumbs up. You do a smash.
I'm
or
gonna
pass.
say it. I'm gonna say
You
it.
gotta say it. Yeah, you can't
I'll
do a
say
hand
it,
signal for a podcast.
but I'm doing it's up, mid, down.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Allman Brothers Band, Manly Fieldhouse, Syracuse, April
Thumbs down.
7th, 72. 3 LP.
Thumb down. That's gonna be $800.
No, it's not gonna be 800.
3 LP. It's gonna be way too much.
$75. Yeah.
There you go. Too much.
One for me and not you. Amigo the Devil live at the Wiltern. Yes.
That's a mid for me.
Yeah. Asking Alexandria the Black. No.
That's a no.
Angelo Baldamenti. Music
Real
for
quick,
film
there's
and television.
one Asking Alexandria record. I would do Alaska. I like that.
That's not that band. You're mistaken.
Oh,
You keep
then
saying that. You're thinking of Between the Buried and Me.
Yeah, that one.
And fuck those guys. Anyway,
Okay, whatever.
their guitarist is a rapist. Anyway.
Oh well, fuck those guys. Never mind. I'm not doing
Maybe
that.
not fuck them, but
Omar,
fuck that guy.
Omar, cut the crap out of this.
Not cutting that.
I know he's not.
Beatles. Nope, skip. Beatles, 7-inch vinyl. I Want to Hold Your Hand. I saw her standing there.
I have those
Yes.
songs on like 12 inches.
Better Than Ezra Deluxe.
Thumbs down.
Dickie Betts and Great Southern. Southern Jam, New York, 78.
Thumbs down.
This You Might Want. Big Brother and the Holding Company live at the Grand Ballroom, Detroit, March 68.
That's a mid. How many records is it? It's probably only 2.
1 LP.
Then thumbs down.
You want the number of prints of these, or you don't care?
No, I don't care about that.
Biohazard, Mataleo. Not their best record, maybe for me.
That's a maybe. If
If
it were the big one, it would be a definite because I don't have it.
The Birds in Buffalo Springfield live at the Monterey Pop.
Thumbs down.
Circa Survive, probably not one for either of us, but a good record. Dissensus on Sumerian Records. First time repress on vinyl. Phil Collins official bootleg 10-inch live
Thumbs
from
down.
the soundboard. Yeah, I don't know who wants this. Sam Cooke, a change is going to come the Diamond Edition 7-inch. Nope.
Let's skip 7 inches. Skip 7
Christopher
and 10.
Cross,
Nope.
Christopher Cross Christmas.
I got enough Christopher Cross records in this house. It's one and it's too many. Although he once filled in Deep Purple for Richie Blackmore in Texas.
That is true. Cypress Hill live at Rockin' Park 99.
Oh, hell no.
Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Right Round 40th Anniversary Edition.
Nah, I got the OP on that. I'm good.
Dead Prez, Revolutionary but Gangster.
Nope.
First time on vinyl. Doors live in Detroit, 4 LP.
That's a maybe. I got to see if I, sell a bunch of records before that comes out. Because I want that. But 4 LPs Record Store Day is...
Maybe one for me eventually, but not on Record Store Day. Bill Evans Trio live in Kongsberg.
Nope.
Not for you. Garbage, Copy Paste. Maybe.
Nope.
Not their best. Gaslight Anthem live at Park Ave. No.
Nope.
Ghostface Killer Set the Tone.
Nope.
Picture disc. No. Who wants this?
Oh,
Why
hell
did you
no.
ask for this?
Nobody asked for that.
No one wants this. Nobody wants this.
Actually, people on Record Store Day do want it because they don't spin them anyway.
That's, I guess. Helmet Betty. That's a plus for me. 2 LP.
Maybe
Gonna get it.
Oh, that's a no for me then.
Oh, no. Why?
I'm not a big Helmet fan, and if it's going to be 2 LP, it's going to be 2 LP expensive.
Huh? Jimi Hendrix, Songs for Groovy Children, Phil Maurice Concerts, 1 LP.
No.
Who asked for this? John Lee
If I
Hooker.
wanted that, I would just get the damn Band of Gypsies.
Maybe one for you. John Lee Hooker, Don't Turn Me From Your Door, 1 LP.
That's a strong maybe.
Right.
I do love John Lee.
Whitney Houston, this is in the movies right now. Whitney Houston, Love Is Live from South Africa concert.
That's a big no.
Yeah. Jane's Addiction, the new single, Imminent Redemption. Nope.
Big nope. Nope, I'm not buying a single.
Never
gonna buy a single on vinyl.
Have you heard of Jazz Sabbath? Do you know what this is? Jazzy versions of Black Sabbath songs?
Oh my god, so Black Sabbath basically with a different singer?
No.
Black Sabbath's kind of jazzy.
Next, Scarlett Johansson has a record coming out. Anywhere I
She's got a
Lay
couple
My
records.
Head.
I haven't heard them,
yeah.
but she's got them.
Yep. Anyway, Jorma Kokkonen and Jack Cassidy, unreleased tracks. No.
No, thank you.
This is a definite possibility for me. Recent Ghost Cold Keefy Karaoke Jam, King Missile Happy Hour on 1
Has that got
LP.
detachable penis on it?
Does.
I remember buddies talking about that when it was played on the point.
And Martin Scorsese, he makes the best films. Their other big hit. Lacuna Coil EPs.
No, thank you.
No one wants this. Lamb of God, Ashes of the Wake live.
Do not make EPs on vinyl because they cost the same as an LP, and you just get half the stuff.
Steve Martin, King Tut, the album.
No, no, that's not an album. It's got to be a single. There's no King Tut album.
Oh, it's a picture disc. Sorry. Duff McKagan.
I do have one of Steve Martin's comedy records. Duff McKagan live. No, thank you.
May I continue? Thank you. MF Doom, Operation Doomsday 25th Anniversary, 2 LP.
No, thank you.
Really? I'm surprised.
I have not actually heard him.
All right. Well, that's your loss. Joni Mitchell, Harry Hood Demons.
Got enough Joni Mitchell. No, thank you.
Modest Mouse. No.
Nope.
Morphine. Ooh, Morphine B-sides and otherwise. No.
Nope.
Oh, God. Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood Anniversary box set. Why?
I've already got Dr. Feelgood, and I feel good by having Dr. Feelgood that I've already got that I spent $20 on.
Okay. If you like 90s hip hop, Keith Murray, The Most Beautifulest Thing in the World 30th Anniversary Edition. Holy shit.
Not familiar.
No. Stevie Nicks, The Lighthouse. No. Norma Jean, Wrongdoers. Maybe. Nope. That's a good record though.
I don't like metalcore.
I know. Pearl Jam.
Nope.
Song of the Year. No. Rage Against the Machine. This is streaming right now on YouTube if you're interested. There, where they got arrested at the Democratic National Convention in 2000. It's an EP. Maybe. Probably be cheap, like $20. Might be worth it. I'm trying to go faster. Ramones greatest hits. No one wants
Nope.
this. Even
Nobody.
I, the greatest Ramones fan.
They have mined the Ramones so much for Record Store Day. Just stop.
Yeah, kind of stop. This I might buy. So, did you see the movie earlier this year with Zendaya, the tennis movie
Nope.
Challengers?
No.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did the soundtrack, and it's coming out on vinyl. I probably will buy this.
Ew.
Todd Rundgren sucks, so nope. Skip.
Ew.
Santana let the guitar play. Skip.
No thanks.
Gil Scott-Heron and Brian Johnson from South Africa to South Carolina. Nope.
I don't know what. I mean, Brian Johnson from like Clerks, or Brian Johnson from AC/DC, or like a third Brian
Jackson.
Johnson.
Sorry, Brian Jackson,
well,
he's a jazz guy.
I immediately have stopped caring.
Fair enough. Bo. Cat Stevens live. Nope.
Nope.
Snoop Dogg live. Nope.
Nope.
This we talked about already. Stone Temple Pilots Purple Rarities.
I got
never released songs.
Oh, that's
never
like
released.
We have the Tori Amos Under the Pink rarities from a couple years ago. I'm not a Tori Amos fan, so I can't speak to it.
We both have purple. Might be something to get and do a chaser on.
You'd have to really fight me on that one.
Are you familiar with the drone doom band Sun with the
Yeah.
Sun?
Yeah. Is it just Sun? I thought it was Sun O.
It's just Sun, but people say Sun O, but it's Sun. And then the thing is
white metal guys.
Yeah, the white metal. Black One, the album, double LP.
Their Sun is a great concept, but it's not a great listening experience, in my opinion.
It's definitely not good to photograph live. I've been there. Teddy Swims.
Manny did it for me once.
I don't love a huge amount of new music, but Teddy Swims, phenomenal vocals. I've tried everything but Therapy Part 1.5, Record Store Day, baby. Tangerine Dream Live, no.
Nope.
Tegan and Sarah, So Jealous, baby, no. You are tough to please, sir. Too Short Cocktails, no.
Keep in mind, I live in St. Louis, and I don't get half of these things by any chance, so I have to be like really judicious. I just can't bring myself to care because I don't have an opportunity unless I get flipped. I don't want to get flipped.
U2, fuck no.
Fuck no.
Apparently, Steven Wilson has done a stereo remix of Ultravox's best record. But
not
no.
familiar with that, so don't need it.
SpongeBob SquarePants movie music LP, maybe.
Okay, just the fact that 4 million adults are crapping themselves over Krabby Patty collab burgers at Wendy's, and they're pissed off that they're not Krabby Patties because a Krabby Patty, based on my one Google search, isn't even burgers. It's not even meat, and nobody knows what it is. So how are they bitching that it's not a real Krabby Patty?
They don't even know what a crab. Yeah, they're just.
I am like just exploding on Reddit about this, and everybody's like, "Stop ruining our joy."
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Fuck SpongeBob SquarePants. Fuck that guy.
Van Halen Live, Dallas 91.
Oh, I saw that. It's only one LP.
It's 2 LP.
Is it 2?
I'm looking at it.
Oh, that's the gig where it got canceled, and they came back and made it up for free. So it's
possibly. We're almost done with the list. Personal friends of the show, Vitamin String Quartet. Vitamin String Quartet performs BTS. I don't want any part of this.
Like the Korean people?
They're not Korean. BTS, yeah, the Korean pop band, yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, War compilation on vinyl 77 to 94, 5 LP, no.
No thank you. Big no thank you. What the hell?
The Mexican trio of singers of heavy metal band The Warning, Error, their new album on double LP. Great band, good album, no. This I might have to buy. This is Wolves in the Throne Room Black Cascade 15th Anniversary Edition. I don't think it's been on vinyl for a long time. 2 LP or 1 LP. There's 2 versions. I might just have to.
No, that's a no for me.
And then who wants this? Yes, the Fragile Outtakes. Nope. Even though I love Yes, no.
Okay. And I like Yes. I don't love them, but
most of this list is terrible.
Yes and Kansas records basically all sound the same. So if you got the outtakes of it, it would just sound the same.
A lot of this is bad.
Crazy.
Yeah, a lot of this is very not a very good year.
It's terrible for rock and metal.
Not a lot of punk. Very low rock and metal, and a lot of just crap, and a lot of lives and things that I didn't ask for. So
I want lives. I'm live guy, but you know what? I mean, I want this 4 LP by the Doors, but it's probably going to be $120.
Absolutely going to be over $100.
and
All right.
I'm not willing to pay that.
Thanks for tolerating that. If Nick and I go to Record Store Day and buy anything, we will surely check it in a future episode.
And we will feel shame about all the crapping we've done on Record Store Day while going out on Record Store Day to buy records.
Don't actually think I'm going to feel any shame at all. But anyway,
We should feel shame because we do this every year.
shirt check, and then let's bring in our guest who we've already announced who it was. It's not a secret, but
correct. My shirt check this week is in line with the Foreigner. I'm wearing my Aquatine Hunger Force Legend of Zelda mashup. It's dangerous to go alone. Please take the Foreigner belt. Ignignot and and Carbatana Lananuski, and the Foreigner belt, which imbues the wearer with all of the magical powers of 70s supergroup Foreigner.
fantastic.
It is fantastic. It's a great
the shirt is great. The show is great. We're about to find out Foreigner. Spoiler alert, not that great. Anyway, my shirt is yeah, not that great. Cobra Kai, never die.
I wore my Cobra Kai socks the other day.
Pain does not exist in this dojo. Yes, Sensei.
Joe, what is a dojo? That was
all right. Let's have a pause and bring in Don De Lemont. And I assume you're going to do the big glow up.
As always.
I was waiting for the curtain to rise.
And we're back. We are joined by a musical luminary, a man with a beard who pulls his hair back and wears glasses like he's me. He's even wearing a shirt that says things. We are talking about a guy that got into an online fight for 3 weeks with Sebastian Bach, which is way better than my online fight with Eddie Trunk for about 88 minutes because he got tired of me quickly, because I do not matter to him. Of course, we were talking about well, I wouldn't say visionary leader because I reserved that for myself. We were talking about the founder, editor-in-chief, and other wonderful superlatives of Southeast of Heaven, which is just a great name, way better than Glacially Musical. It's amazing how much everybody else thinks about these things, way more than I do, as much as I'm just ready to show my ass and get going. We are joined by Don De Lemont. Before you talk about all your business, you got to tell the Sebastian Bach story.
Oh man, well, thanks you guys for having me again. Obviously, I love you guys to death. Y'all are.
It's actually your first time on this show.
Oh, on this show, you're right. So, well, yeah. Thank you for having me then on this show. But
I know I'm right. I'm talking.
Yeah, I already. This is why I love him already. But
I'm not allowed to say that to lawyer wife because she gets really pissed off.
Look, my wife is insanely jealous. So hands off. All right. So, all right. So Sebastian Bach, that was an interesting thing, so I'm gonna try to condense this and land this plane quick. But
before he gets going, just let me say, he told me this story via text message, which has got to be, I hope for the love of God it wasn't on his phone, because if so, his thumbs have got to be like the size of hubcaps telling this damn thing. And he is the biggest fan of Sebastian Bach I've ever known. Even more than lawyer wife, yes. Where the day we moved into this house, I'm having a beer. We're at the Mac getting burgers after we'd done some moving, and Youth Gone Wild or something comes on, and she goes, "Do we have this?" I'm like, "Nah, it's too expensive." She's like, "Okay." So then, of course, I pull up my phone, Discogs. Oh, it's $25. Click. Now we have it. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so I was a huge Skid Row fan. I love Skid Row. I saw Skid Row probably. Let's see, how many times I saw him? I saw him 4 times with Sebastian. First time I saw him opening up for Bon Jovi. Literally went to the merch guy and asked if we could swap our Bon Jovi shirts for Skid Row shirts. The guy felt bad for us and did. So like I was a fan. I was a fan of Bach. I always thought he was kind of an idiot, but like the guy was a front man, like he was larger than life. He had this big voice, and so
he embodies the Weird Al song Canadian Idiot.
Oh, I thought that was about him.
No, actually, kind of.
Oh, I figure it's either him or Neil Young, one of the two. But
I listened to Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young live today to get ready for this program because I wanted to listen to all the soft rock I have.
Yeah, you had to ear bleach after all that. Well, yeah, we'll get back into that though. But so anyway, so fast forward to the 2000s and somethings is that he was doing this solo tour, which was it was an evening with Sebastian Bach, and which I was like, isn't it every evening an evening with Sebastian Bach when he's here? But and Like I tried. I really did. Like I went to the show. I went with an open mind because again, like a fan, right? The last thing you want an artist that you really liked to do is fail, right? So like even if you don't love what he's doing, like his output or whatever, like you kind of want him to be great because, like, dude, I saw you sell out the Fox Theater to Atlanta. You were amazing. Your Slave to the Grind is still one of the greatest metal albums, in my opinion, of all time. I think I mean, at
Like
least
I
it's in
said, biggest Skid Row fan I know.
I mean, at least it's in my top 10, I would have to say. But anyway, so I go to
Way
the
biggest. I
show.
mean, like, okay.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. What?
I
What?
was just gonna say, seriously, biggest Skid Row fan I've ever met.
That's
I mean,
funny.
like you have to really like go back for a second to when Skid Row came out with those first two
I
records.
know. I was in
They were
junior high
they
and
were
Youth Gone
completely
Wild,
they were
18 in
much
life.
they were heavier and better than every other dumb hair band that you love. That sucks, except Rat, who
I
rules.
don't love Rat.
I love Rat.
I
Why? They
love rap.
suck.
No, but Steven's got a great voice and they have banger songs. Crosby was a genius guitar player.
Oh, they
A
were,
writer.
yeah,
Not as good as
yeah.
They're
Poison.
so
Not as
good.
good as Poison.
Better than Poison. No, Poison sucks.
Nobody's
But
better
Anyway,
than
No,
Poison.
but he's right though, because Skid Row was like, even when the first
They
album came out, was
they were
You know
heavier
what?
than what would be
actually
going on.
metal. They were
You know,
actually metal.
they
I
were,
wouldn't. I would call them metal hair,
Mhm.
not hair metal, because they were.
You know what? I always thought the first Skid Row album was just like a metal, like a sleaze metal album instead of a sleaze
It's
rock.
Guns N' Roses, but heavier and tighter.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the album stands the
Not
test of time better.
nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it's in that vein, but it's more proficient.
Yeah.
by the way, kind of
Well,
apropos of you trading Bon Jovi shirts for Skid Row shirts, because you know that Bon Jovi helped Skid Row get signed, and then John Bon Jovi took all of Skid Row's publishing, which
yeah,
has never been rectified.
And
yeah,
Sebastian Bach punched him in the face.
yeah. Well,
I'm
he
glad he
talked,
did,
yeah,
as
well,
he
yeah.
deserved to.
Yeah, he talked some shit apparently. So yeah, John Bon Jovi made some sort of crazy deal about sign over the publishing to the first album to me. I'll get you guys signed. We'll figure it all out. They got signed. They never saw a lick from that album. And Sebastian Bach talked some shit about John Bon Jovi during one of their opening sets, and John was waiting in the wings and sucker punched him on his way off the stage, and I was like, oh well, and then Skid Row got pissed off and wrote "Slave to the Grind," and Bon Jovi went off and continued to be Bon Jovi, which is punishment enough, um, but yeah, so the Sebastian Bach show in Atlanta, he's playing this really small club, pretty decent. I mean, it's a decent sized club, but it's a club, like maybe about 200, 300 people. Um, Comes
That's a
out.
small club.
Yeah, and he
That's like
opens up
minimum
with this
size.
god awful cover of Little Wing, like the one that was off of the Beside Ourselves, which I thought was terrible then. But right away you could just tell something was not right. Like his voice was kind of flat. It sounded tired, and I'm like, okay, well he's just kicking in. Like, why is he opening up with such a slow song? It's like it just didn't seem to work. And then as the show progressed and would get kind of heavier or whatever, it was just clear that his voice was just not there anymore. He wanted it to be, and mixed in with all the reverb and delay and saturation and everything, like you could still hear the fact that he was trying so hard to mask that his voice just was not what it was. A lot of the singers I love, their voices aren't what they were. They tune down, or or they just go out and suck. And just, I mean, Don Dokken does, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, they just do it.
Let me
But
say, for David Coverdale, he did the smartest thing I've ever seen. They tuned down, and then he has like 8 dudes sing the high parts for him
oh yeah.
while he puts his fist in the air.
Uh-huh.
And so I still get "Here I Go Again on My Own."
Yeah.
It sounds great, and Don Dokken is there. Not Don Dokken. David Coverdale is
Yeah.
there sweating like a pig in his like meatloaf outfit, because that's what I remember. I don't know if he actually wore that, but that's what I remember him in. And great, that's awesome. Everyone else do this. Call in a pinch hitter. When you can't hit the fastball, bring in the kid who can.
Please, no more baseball analogies, please. I'm hurting here. please.
I'm sorry. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, I'm not a sports bally dude either, but
Okay,
you know.
if you when you got that penalty kick, you bring in King Henry.
I'm
I
lost.
don't know.
Key for
I don't know
you.
what that means. Yeah, I don't know
I
what that
don't
means. I
either.
said, please, no more sports analogies.
Oh,
Please,
okay?
no
No more.
more
You said
sports
baseball.
analogies today. I said sports. 0.
Sorry, I thought you said baseball.
Anywho,
But so
Don, welcome, and how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Tell us, like we skipped right over. We love Don so much, we skip right past the thing we always do, which is like, Don, tell our audience about yourself in case they don't know who you are.
Oh yeah. All right. So also, I'm Don De Lemont. I run the music blog Southeast of Heaven. I put out a book called Southeast of Heaven: A Metalhead's Journey, which was about my journey as a metalhead from '84 to now. I've got a podcast called Talking the Talk with Don, where these two guys are kind of like my heroes, I guess. But yeah, I've gotten to interview a lot of cool people, and I do it all because I love it,
We're
So
interviewing a cool person right now.
be still my beating heart. I love this. And y'all are great for my ego. My wife's already in bed without me, so this is where I'm getting the love here.
My wife's in Dallas, so I mean, I'm in no rush really.
Yeah, neither am I. But yeah, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, and I'm a musician as well. So
I like to think of myself as a guitar owner. Musician is a really highfalutin title for me. I have a guitar. I have played it, and I have been paid to do it. Not much, but I have done it.
I am
you
a
just
retired
look at
musician.
it and hear the sustain, right? Like you just
No,
look at it.
mostly it's just in the case still. I mean, although I have all the like 90% of the money I've made playing music, and this is going to ruin my reputation for being, an agtheist, satanist jackass, is playing hymns in a church.
And weren't we just making fun of Striper earlier?
Yes, we were.
No, I thought so. Okay, Tim Gaines.
I wasn't making fun of Striper, but anyway,
I was. I mean, we were. You might not have been, but we were. Yes, I have. I have been a friend of my legitimately literal best friend is a legitimate, honest minister, and from time to time he has asked me to perform in his church because it's a very small church and they have no organist. So I have brought out my Les Paul. And I have played hymns, and I get a big giggle when I look down at my pedal board and I'm in a church and it says death metal. And then I step on it just to use it in a church.
Jesus did die, so.
Yes, he did. Yes, he's in heaven now. He's not alive. He's still dead. I mean, he might have died twice, but he's still dead.
I don't know. You only die once, according to the James Bond movies, So.
James Bond is propaganda garbage, except for the part where that is based off of Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee, actually.
I would have to agree, to be honest.
And why have we not done a Christopher Lee chaser here? I mean, seriously.
Well, we said we were going to do a chaser of all the actors who have metal records, and we said like Christopher Lee and Jeremy Renner and people like that.
Jeremy Renner has one?
Yeah, he's got a pretty great pop rock album out.
We could do a Scarlett Johansson record too, apparently.
Scarlett Johansson apparently has a thing. Vera Farmiga has a rock band called the Yagas that just came out. Vera Farmiga was Livia in the
Noggles, like the old Mexican restaurant?
Yaga.
Oh,
Baba Yaga. Yaga.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd rather have Noggles. They had tacos.
And of course, we know that Dexter, Michael C. Hall has Princess Goes to the Butterfly Museum, which is like David Bowie psychedelic pop rock band.
I never heard that.
It's really great. You would love it, actually. It's really great. He's got a wonderful, he's on Broadway. So he's got a great voice.
Yeah.
He is?
Michael C. Hall? Yes.
I don't know shit about no Dexters. I don't watch any fake serial killer stuff.
The premise of the show is brilliant. The execution of the show is
not very good.
It is not brilliant. Serial killers, no. I've never watched it, but I choose to have an opinion based on nothing.
Unhelpful.
The Pretty Reckless is the Taylor Momsen. She was in that show
Gilmore Girls.
Gossip Girl. Yeah.
She was in
Gilmore Girls.
She was in The Grinch. She's from St. Louis.
She was in The Grinch also. Yeah.
Here in St. Louis, we're quite familiar with Taylor Momsen. Although I have not heard a single track by The Pretty Reckless. The whole flashing thing just kind of put me off.
Who? What are you talking about?
I
I think you're convoluting your things again.
Did you mean to
I
say
don't.
put or did you mean to say got?
I meant put.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Just wanted to make sure we were clear about that. Okay.
I mean, I have no issue with that process and with that system, but not to get me to do something else.
Yeah.
That's just my thing, man. If sex sells, but I would rather just buy the sex, not the record to get the sex.
You
Oh,
know,
can we
that
talk about foreigners so we can get
that
it out of the
screams
way?
butcher
'Cause
babies, by the way. So, but I'll digress.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
Butcher
Butcher
Babies too.
Babies.
I've never
Butcher
listened because I
Babies
assume deaf.
they got better over time. Unfortunately, Carla Harvey has quit the band and gone solo.
Mm.
So it's just one Butcher Baby now. I don't know. I
That's
like
one
Heidi
too
quite a bit.
many.
Heidi
So
has had
let's.
actually a very tough year, and I'm pulling for her to do
Okay, so
better.
how we gonna fuck this pig? You want to set up the
You,
albums, or do you want me
Jesus
to set up the band?
Christ,
It's from
you talk about
Letterkenny.
you stop Letterkennying me. I don't care about that show or soccer. Anyway,
God
Letterkenny is
damn.
amazing.
guns. The knives are out, bro. You brought me here. I didn't bring you here.
Yeah.
What's
That's gonna
going
be
on in
great,
the
you
world?
dude.
I guess I gotta run the podcast because Nick is just like fucking Don. He's like the
Although
little
I have
girl.
to apologize because I feel like I brought this on, Keith, so I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no.
You
It's
totally
Nick.
did.
It's Nick. It's Nick being Nick. It's fine. I just have to get used to it.
Hey, we did
Nick,
we
This
did
was my
Mastodon.
initiation into the
We did
we did
club.
Mastodon,
Mastodon,
and 2 of those episodes are in our top 10 ever. Anyway,
and we did Slipknot. I mean,
as you do because they are the biggest band in the world beside Metallica.
and when we are
Um,
hit, we sometimes we got to go hit fishing, and sometimes you got to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yikes! Tell us, Nick, about 1977 in the world, really quick, like in 2 minutes or
1977.
less.
1977. We are in the first year of the Jimmy Carter presidency. We have the fireside chats where the president sits in front of a fire with a sweater and he tells you about how awful the world is because the world was pretty awful. Musically speaking, Led Zeppelin has 1 foot out the door. They have 1 foot going out the indoor because they go in through the outdoor. Black Sabbath, God love them. We're just now waiting for Dio to show up at this point. Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is riding the wave of genius, which will quickly head on into slavery, where the genius enslaves the rest of them and walks away. So we are once again, it always seems like whenever we start a series in a transitional time. The United States is changing. We are about to have our first major gas crisis. However, what's funny is I've lived through 5 of them now, and we haven't learned a goddamn thing in America. I did. I have an electric car. So think about that, people that don't have one. And just for the record, I got it really cheap because I got it used. Anyway, transitional time. We are coming out of the Gerald Ford presidential administration, which is one of the very few presidents who was never elected. We are coming out of the biggest presidential scandal we had seen up to that time, which was Watergate, which completely changed American politics for the next 25, 30 years, where all of a sudden we started caring about this thing called personal character, which we've stopped caring about in the aughts. So it's an interesting time. The Vietnam War has ended. We have finally pulled out completely. And hopefully we are about to begin the Pax Americana that John F. Kennedy had talked about 15 years earlier. Spoiler, we did not. And we have not come close to it since then. And it's a time of unrest, as it seems to always be. We are getting closer and closer to our ideals of the American nation, where everybody has equal rights. The civil rights movement has made significant strides. We have the Black Panthers now distributing breakfasts to children so they can learn better, which is what made the Black Panthers public enemy number 1 to some people. They gave black children breakfast. That's all they did. And they patrolled their streets using their Second Amendment rights to make sure the tyrannical government did not mow them down. They were also bad for doing that. Ronald Reagan is close at hand. Margaret Thatcher is close at hand. So we are living the last couple of years of the progressive wave that the entire world has ridden on for the past 4 decades. In 5 years, we begin to undo all the progress we've done. which leads us into 1977, where an American and an Englishman decide that they can make a band together.
But before that,
oh,
before that, because we're not there yet.
Oh,
I will just say shout out to my favorite president of my lifetime, Jimmy Carter, 100 years old. Is president at this time. Unfortunately, inherited a hot mess in the country, but time has shown us that he had the best temperament ever of any president, ever had the right moral compass for the job.
I will die saying Jimmy Carter was right.
I mean, he's right about everything.
Exactly. Jimmy Carter was right. What radical things did he want to do? Oh, let's use less gas in our cars.
Take care of
that's
people.
awful. You mean I can't drive this GTO that only gets 4 miles to the gallon anymore?
Yeah. All right. So now we segue before we go on to the beginning of Foreigner and how Foreigner forms. Which let's just get it out of the way. The name is horrible right off the bat. Horrible name. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what it means. I don't know why.
I can tell you what it means. They chose it because it was half English, half American. So
stupid.
Somebody would be
still dumb.
Somebody would be a
nationalism.
Foreigner.
Nationalism.
It wasn't about nationalism.
Is a beat away from racism.
I agree. However, in most countries, not named America or Japan, the term foreigner is not derisive. Even in England, they still say it. And that's what they say in Mexico. My buddy Esteban.
A broken clock is right twice a day, pal.
It's
hey,
even in England, they still
England
say,
brought us fish and chips, and they brought us butter chicken because curry was too spicy for them. Mm-hmm. So they had they had to make a difference.
I'm not going to apologize for their whack ass imperialism and say that butter.
I'm not either.
Regardless of it, it's a shitty band name. Like even for the time,
it is okay.
You know
it's stupid. It is stupid. But let's just. All I'm saying is let's call it stupid
it's
for what it is and not what it ain't.
You know, like that's just
How do you have multiple hermits? It's like a Monty Python sketch about hermits.
And why are they owned by a guy named Herman? That's what I never.
That is, I believe, owning a human being is slavery.
That's oppressiveness, is what it is.
I'm pretty sure that is against the 13th Amendment.
Well, nobody is calling for hermit rights right now. You know.
I mean, are we talking? Did we only have 3/5 of a hermit? How many hermits in the band did we count?
Well, I mean, and none of them were named Herman, so that's.
Ooh, that's even worse.
That kind of tells us that there was like a dictatorship.
So like there was somebody behind the scenes, so they have the prince, the Machiavellian prince, with the marionette doing the marionettes on the Hermans.
Well, it's like the
Hermits,
and then Herman was like Oz, you know, like he was the great and powerful.
Or he was Christoph. He was Christoph.
But regardless, it was a terrible name. Like
yes.
I think.
May I reclaim my time?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
It is a terrible name. That's all we needed to say. It's a terrible name. Don't apologize for them, Nick, please. So then the last thing we like to do before I give it back to Nick to talk about the band, and we go through the album as quickly as humanly possible because most of it's terrible. Here are some of the records that came out in 1977, and it might be the best year ever for albums. I don't know if this is a thing, but we'll just say if you have this record, you can just say like, "Oh, I have it." That's fine. Rumors, Fleetwood Mac.
Yep.
Nope.
Odds, Steely Dan.
Nope.
Yes.
Animals, Pink Floyd.
Yes. Nope. I actually have two copies of Animals. I've only got 20 copy and then the reissue.
I got 2018. That's all I got.
Yeah, Nick has a bunch. I have 3 copies of Animals. Marquee Moon by Television.
No.
Never mind the bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols.
Fuck no.
Yes.
Not rock and metal, but hugely important. Exodus, Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Nope.
Yes.
I got Live somewhere.
Heroes, David Bowie.
Nope.
No.
I have no.
The Clash self-titled debut.
Yes.
Yes.
Billy Joel, The Stranger, one of my personal North Star albums.
No.
Absolutely not.
Also, great. Also,
I listened to Billy Joel today.
Also, David Bowie. Also, David Bowie, Low.
No.
No.
Kraftwerk, Trans Europe Express.
Nope.
No.
Another personal favorite of mine, Rocket to Russia, Ramones.
Nope. Absolutely.
Great band. Probably neither of you have. Wire, Pink Flag.
Nope.
No. Mm-mm.
Iggy Pop.
Now you're just flexing. Yeah. No,
I'm not. Yeah, yeah.
just kidding.
Iggy Pop.
That's the whole show is one of us flexing.
I love
It's
that.
usually
Yeah,
Nick.
it's a
Usually
big
Nick because
flex.
he's insecure.
It's a flex fest. It's all good.
It's usually Nick because he's insecure.
You're not my therapist, sir.
I'm not.
I had to
So I went to therapy last night. I went to karaoke and I screamed Mr. Crowley and Der Kommissar by After the Fire. Not
Please tell me there's video.
Yeah,
is there
but
video?
there's
I had a legitimate therapy appointment last week, and halfway through, she's like, "Let me ask you a tough question. Should we continue?" That is not tough, ma'am. No.
All right, Tony Soprano. Eric Clapton, The Horrible Slow Hand, even though that
Yes.
was good.
No, not at all.
ELO, Out of the Blue.
No.
No.
Talking Heads, 77.
No.
Yes.
Former podcast subject, News of the World by Queen.
No.
No.
The news of this world is that the album's not good. Bat Out of Hell, Jim Steinman and Meatloaf.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
If you don't have records.
That is the greatest example of an album that you hate to love.
No, I love it. I love that record. I do not hate the
Oh,
fact
I
that
love it too, but I hate Meatloaf. You know,
I
the
like
food and the artist,
1977.
you
I like
know?
1977 Meatloaf.
Yeah.
And as near as I can tell, there wasn't anything else.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he stopped right then.
He has passed away. Anyway, rest in power.
From COVID.
The tragic and great street survivors, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yep.
No way.
Jackson Brown is a wife beater, so fuck him.
He is?
Oh my god, dude.
Let's not talk about wife beating today.
He also sucks, so it's okay.
Well, he does
Yeah,
suck.
he
I don't care. It does
People
not
love
affect,
him though.
It does
People
not
love
affect
him.
me buying his music.
that is white music right there.
Very
Seriously.
white. Very
Like,
white.
yeah, go ahead.
It's like
Before and After Science, Brian Eno. Great album.
No. Mm-mm.
All in All by Earth, Wind and Fire, brilliant. I have it.
Maybe
No.
there's an Earth, Wind and Fire record over there. I don't know what it is though.
There's an also brilliant A Farewell to Kings by Rush.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe the worst album of my entire lifetime, beside the Scrooge McDuck album by Thomas Holopan from Nightwish. Saturday Night Fever by the Bee Gees. Horrible.
I have it.
What a horrible,
It's amazing.
What a horrible
No.
band. Horrible.
No.
Horrible. The
Absolutely
worst thing
not.
that ever happened to music.
Seriously.
Not the Bee Gees themselves. Saturday Night Fever. Stop it.
It was.
That's
yeah.
the next movie, by the way, dumbass. Anyway.
You should be dancing.
But please stop. Book of Dreams, Steve Miller Band.
No.
Absolutely not.
Oh my God,
Let There
greatest
Be
hits.
Rock. Let There Be Rock, AC/DC.
Yes.
I have owned that album
I have
times.
a New Zealand pressing of that. A second
Yes.
New Zealand
I re-
pressing.
A former podcast check. Subject.
Incredible.
One of
Great
Nick's
album.
favorite albums, The Grand Illusion by Styx.
Hell yeah!
Absolutely one of the greatest things ever done.
Saw Dennis
For
DeYoung
sure.
play it front to back.
Sorry.
One of my
It was
personal
amazing.
one of the holy trinity for me from Kiss, Love Gun.
Got it?
Yes. And I have the pop gun
Really?
that it came with.
You could sell that to a really stupid Kiss fan for like $400.
Let me tell you what happened. I bought Love Gun at a pawn shop in 1991. I paid $5 for it. And then I also bought a copy of Kiss Killers for like $7. The pop gun was inside of the Kiss Killers.
Wow. Like Kiss Killers on vinyl?
Yeah. With the block S.
So it's the German edition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just happened to pick both of them up, and the pop gun was inside of Killers.
That is the greatest thing I've ever. Seriously, you could sell that to a stupid Kiss fan for $400, and then in 10 years when they die, buy it back from their kid for like 10.
It's amazing.
It tells you how to eBay in this week's edition of the podcast.
Just for the record, I love Kiss. Absolutely love them.
So do I. Yeah. Welcome to Flipping for Freaks. So we're good.
We hate flippers. I'm gonna
Fuck
try
flippers.
to
I can't
blast
say I
through
can't do
the.
it.
I'm gonna try to blast through the last of this quickly. I said Cheap Trick in Color, right?
No, but
This is
no.
all in the same year. This is like holy shit, right?
It's a year.
No.
It's a year.
This album is comically bad. I, Robot by Alan Parsons Project.
Nope.
Comically
I have
bad.
Edgar Allan Poe by Alan Parsons Project.
That's better. Sin After Sin, Judas Priest.
Yes.
Damn, Damn, Damned by the Damned, incredible.
No,
Heavy Weather by Weather Report, I have this.
Nope.
no.
Is that got Lithuanian Men?
No. Songs from the Wood, Jethro Tull.
No.
Incredible.
This is underrated. This is an underrated band. I wouldn't mind. I think Nick has probably done this on his other podcast. Even in the quietest moments, Supertramp, underrated band.
I have not done that.
No.
Oh, all right. Maybe you should.
I don't know that I would call Supertramp underrated though. That's kind of weird.
I see a dog.
I feel like they're underrated.
That's Ozzy. That's Ozzy Osbourne, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we love Ozzy Osbourne. One of the worst albums by one of my favorite bands, "Going for the One" by Yes.
Not familiar. Don't have that.
In the City by The Jam, great album.
Nope.
Don't have it. Another one that I have is Leave Home, Ramones, 2 Ramones albums in 77.
Absolutely.
Well, it only took like what, about 28 minutes to record one?
Basically, 10 minutes, basically.
They cut 4 of them in a weekend. Yeah.
Another personal favorite from Nick, Point of No Return by Kansas.
Is that a personal favorite of mine?
I thought so.
What's on it?
Everything You Like.
Oh, then yes. That's got Dust in the Wind and Carry On and like that shit.
Oh, most of that.
Okay, yeah, I've got that. It's Point of KNOW Return because they're edgy.
They're so smart.
And that means something that they can't explain.
And then just for shiggles, American Stars and Bars, not his greatest work, Neil Young, but a solid route. Solid.
Yeah.
So the man don't need him around. Anyhow.
But real quick, I do have to interject something about Kansas, is that when I was growing up in Jonesboro, Georgia, outside of Atlanta, my buddy who I used to hang out with all the time, the chick above him in the apartment was screwing Steve Walsh. And we met him a few times.
Did she get the clap?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That was Yes. I take that back. Never mind. And that was Yes and Steve Howe. He had a song called The Clap. It was a guitar solo on a live record. He just called it Clap, but the singer announced it as The Clap.
The Clap.
And so the record label wouldn't change it.
That's great. But yeah,
he was not a fan.
So my friend was neighbors with the chick that Steve Walsh was double dipping on. So anyway, that's a good little tidbit for you right there.
Well, there we go.
Jonesboro, Georgia, representing.
We've talked about drugs, right?
We can.
So sex, drugs, rock and roll. We've just hit it all. I mean, we are kicking Dr. Righteous in the face. That is from Styx. Kilroy was here.
Yep.
That is J.Y. Young's character.
And if you guys don't mind, I actually had a little small list that I made, which I didn't know you guys were going to do this, but I also made a little small list of what some of the biggest tours of 77 were. And we had...
I love this. Continue.
We had the Alive 2 tour, Born to Run, Day at the Races tour.
Just got Born to Run. I got that recently, too.
Bob Marley was on the Exodus tour. Pink Floyd was doing In the Flesh. Led Zeppelin had hit the road for the 77 North American tour.
First time in like 4 years.
Yep. And then Kiss was back out again for Love Gun.
No, Love Gun was Love Gun.
No, you're right. And then we had the Police Around the World tour, which was a really big one for them at the time. And then on top of that, we had the Rumors, Street Survivors, which was and then we had the god awful Technical Ecstasy tour with Sabbath, which was like
previous podcast subject, Black Sabbath's Technical Ecstasy. My God, that album is just a fart.
Do you want to hear a band breaking up live? That is it. Listen to that album though. And then we also had the Who 77, 78 tour. So
that's
those were just a
really,
few that
that's not really the Who in my world.
Nah, it was. I don't know. I don't care. But
it was Who like.
It was.
Is that the year? Was that the year of the Stampede or before or after?
79 was the Stampede.
79 was the Stampede, yeah.
I only know that because of WKRP.
WKRP, same.
I forgot about that.
I remember the station manager wearing a blue mask, and he was so excited in that episode. Only to find out 10 kids died.
Mr. Carlson.
Thank you. I couldn't remember. I could remember the actor's name. Hugh Jump. For some reason, I have been thinking about WKRP in Cincinnati. Gordon Jump.
Gordon Jump. That's what it was. Yes.
I have been thinking about this show like way more than really anyone should.
You know what else? I think just like we just established something. I think I just discovered something about myself in this moment is that I am a correcting cocksucker. Like I can't help myself.
Whoa! We don't use that word here.
I correct everybody's shit when they're wrong, and I get a thrill out of being right. And
do you know why half the time we're at each other's throats? Because they do the same fucking thing. I did not correct Don today out of respect for him being a guest, and he has.
No, I have no respect for anybody. I'm going to correct everybody as much as I can. I don't respect myself or anyone else.
Look, if you don't want to get corrected, don't come on the goddamn fucking show. It's just.
Look, there you go. Ask Keith what the great southern brain fart was like, dude. Like, I love to be corrected because what that does is that gives me ammo to go correct some other jackass.
I'm going to suggest you never say that in front of me again, and hope I forget that from drinking too much.
What? Which one?
All righty, moving on. So, Foreigner becomes a thing. A dude from one place and a dude from another place are like, let's do a super group. I don't really know how it's a super group. Interesting story. I really don't like Foreigner. My lawyer wife, is a huge fan of Foreigner, and we have seen them. I have seen Foreigner nearly as many times, or maybe as many times as Metallica. I'm not sure how many times I've seen Poison, so I can't compare those numbers. I've lost count of how many times. Not because it's so many, just because I forgot. Because Poison's not that great live. But, where was I?
I'll disagree slightly on that, though, by the way, because Poison's probably one of the most fun live shows. Every time I see Poison, I never walk away going, that sucked.
I know it was at least 3. Because I know I saw them on the Power to the People tour. I saw them on the tour where they did, were an American band on the Greatest Hits.
Mm-hmm.
That was with Dave Martinez, who now lives in Orlando. It's not Martinez, but anyway. All my Adult Swim people know exactly what I'm talking about. And then I saw them at least once with Lawyer Wife. It was Poison, Def Leppard on the Hysteria, some anniversary, probably 30th, maybe 25th. Lita Ford was there, and that was the first time I had seen Lita Ford. I've seen her twice now. There might have been another time. Feels like there could have been. I know we had tickets to see Bret Michaels, but it was at the Family Arena, and Firehouse really sucked. And then there was Warrant, and Warrant is just a whole weird vibe.
Bad. Yeah.
Bad. Yeah, so I've seen them again. I've seen Warrant a second time with Winger, I would point out.
That sounds like a punishment in some countries for stealing. Like, what? Oh, my God.
That's punishment for shoplifting in some countries. Yes,
one of my best friends loves Winger, like unapologetically loves them.
I used to work for a dude same way. He would be like and he always played air bass when he sang it.
And
I'm like, nobody plays air bass. Roger
Did he pirouette also? Did he also?
No, but he also got hair extensions around this time.
Oh, like Kip Winger did.
So I mean, like he went from like this little bitty like fro-ish, like little bitty tiny fro. He was a white guy, not a black guy, but he had like real curly, like, pubic hair on his head. And then he got 18-inch jet black extensions. And it was constantly him like whipping it back and forth.
Fucking incredible.
At this time, I did have jet black hair down to my belly button. Not now where I'm going bald, but
maybe we should have just did a chaser where we just bullshit for 3 hours. Because like,
all right,
this might be a good one. This might be a good one. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, we're doing Foreigner. I think somehow this is Foreigner.
Hurry it up. This thing sucks.
All right, Foreigner happened. They made a record. It's called Foreigner. The first track on this album, Foreigner, by Foreigner.
I mean, you could give a little history. Where do they come from?
I don't have any.
You don't
I
know?
don't know anything about this fucking band.
Well, how is that possible?
I don't really like them. Because
you encourage. I
know. So the first track feels like the very first time.
So let me start. Let's back it up. Why was Foreigner a big deal in the mid 70s? So there was 2 bands. It was kind of the first supergroup after Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, right? It's literally the second supergroup ever.
Third.
Who's the other?
Zeppelin.
No. Nobody knew who those other guys were. Jimmy Page, the only well-known guy. Straight
Cream.
up. Okay, I'll give you Cream.
Yeah, I would say Cream. Yeah.
I've always heard Cream was the first supergroup.
That's fair. I think Crosby.
I mean, you could even go into Captain Beyond if you wanted to, but again, those guys were. I mean, you're talking Iron Butterfly and Purple. You know, so like they were pretty much cult bands at the time. So but
so there's two bands, although guys came from other bands.
Mm-hmm.
There's a band, Spooky Tooth, which was a British rock band of minor report.
That
Mick
is
Jones
the greatest band name of this episode.
It is a great band name. Mick Jones is a great guitar player, but he was in an underperforming band, and there was a couple of other guys who were in some other bands. Ian McDonald is the multi-instrumentalist. People know him best from as a founding member on the first two King Crimson albums.
Yep.
And his flute is what he's known for in King Crimson. So he's actually a good songwriter. We
have all these prog dudes here.
Which please tell me how that happened. You know,
we have all these prog dudes, and we get Feels Like the First Time.
Well, so there's a bluesy rock singer from upstate New York named Lou Gramato, and he has an underwhelming band that puts out one record, and for whatever reason their gear got destroyed in a van crash on an icy road on New Year's Eve, and the tour was canceled, and that band that had like a promising album never got to tour, so that band broke up. At the same time, Mick Jones, who's British, had moved to New York, and he's like, hey, I'm putting a band together with some other guys, and he remembered Lou Gramato opening up for him. And he's like, hey, Lou, you don't have a band anymore. Do you want to come try out for my band, my new band I'm putting together? And Lou Gramato becomes Luke Graham. Not Graham of Coke, Lou Gramato.
I'm going to quote the Sheriff of Rottingham from Robin Hood Men in Tights. Or I'm sorry, Prince John from Robin Hood Men in Tights, played by the inimitable Robert Lewis. That's a good change. It's a good change.
So the band forms around 76. They immediately, because Mick is well liked in the industry and had kind of a little, like, oh, look at these guys who have played in other bands. This is super interesting. They signed to Atlantic. Already better fortunes than either of these people had, except for Ian McDonald and their different elements, right? And so they get together, they write and record the debut album, self-titled Foreigner, and
Mick Jones wrote most of it.
Mick Jones wrote most
of it. He had a lot of it written.
Lou is credited as being the co-writer on all their big hit songs, not just because of the vocals. But
not the first one. Not Feels Like the First Time. That is a Mick Jones only composition.
Yeah.
When Blue Lou Graham joined the band, came to the audition, he actually sang three.
Wait a second, did you just call him Blue Lou?
Yes, I did.
That's horrible.
You need to fucking stop right now. Like that's.
Are we not going to talk about Mick Guitar Jones?
Oh my God, no, we're not going to talk.
It's another terrible nickname.
Jones. That's just terrible.
Oh, Nick is going to talk about Mick.
He's not Mad Guitar Murphy. You know?
There we go.
Okay.
Somebody got. Okay, the joke was gotten.
There's only one man named Guitar.
Is it Guitar Slim? Wasn't that a guy? Anyway.
So by the way, of important note, they recorded this at the Hit Factory, which is gone now, but was a big.
And it's got hits on it, so that checks out.
So this is the mid '70s. Atlantic is the biggest record label in the world at this time.
Led Zeppelin.
They have Zeppelin, Zeppelin, Queen, everybody, and so they come out of the gate swinging. They wanted Nick's least favorite looking guy ever to live, Roy Thomas Baker, to produce it because Mick.
Oh, that creepy! Wow, why don't we bring him up?
I have to,
because he's part of their story. Okay, hang on.
If there's any humor that screams,
I'm sorry. What was his name again? What was his name again? I gotta Google him. Whenever he comes up, I gotta Google him.
Nick Thomas.
What's his name?
Roy Thomas Baker.
I hate myself. Oh my God.
Stranger danger. I'm telling you, dude. Stranger
Oh,
danger.
okay. I'm not hitting copy. That's for sure.
Anyway,
I'm
you
not
couldn't
going to
get
our
that.
Facebook thread.
That guy was busy. Roy Thomas Baker kind of looks like the skeletal guy in the movie Seven, who's been like the sloth victim, who's been in a bed for a year. Anyway,
Wow.
Oh, what's in the
except with
box?
except shocking whitish hair.
Okay,
Anyway,
you hit
he's
me
not an
like double on
albino.
this one. You brought up a Brad Pitt movie, and
Your
you brought up
hand
this
is
guy,
your
and
hand scratch is worrying me. You really should get that looked at
I
tomorrow.
just hit
Anyway,
my glasses with both palms, so my glasses are full of my hand sweat because it's really hot in here today.
It took me a
all right.
year to get used to wearing glasses because I would always go like, oh, like that, and like,
And not to mention, they like Don has good lighting, like the actual appropriate amount of lighting for the space in his room, so that there's not too much glare from the glasses. John Sinclair ends up pinch hitting because he was the assistant producer to Roy on a bunch of albums
wait a
that are
second, Keith,
notable.
that was a sports term that you just used. I just wanted to call you out on your bullshit.
Okay, sure. Anyway, and then I guess Mick
Oof.
Jones and Ian McDonald also co-produced the album. So now I will let Nick finger fudge the whole album track list. We'll go track by track and discuss this clear 30/70 album. It's not even 30/30/30. It's like 30/70. Like all their
This
albums,
is
by the way.
every bit of a 30/30/30.
It is not.
Look, I'm not saying it's better than
You're
thirty
on,
thirty thirty.
if you're gonna say it is, you're gonna have to prove it to me because I don't
I will
see it.
prove it. It's got okay. We're gonna start off with the okay, we're gonna start with the Muhammad Ali 1-2 combination punch. We're gonna go straight up. What's that fucker from Punch Out? The little
Mike
fucker?
Tyson,
No, the little fucker.
the
The guy
little
that Doc
fucker.
is training. The guy that you play as. I was trying to
Last
not
Joe.
say that name. No, not Glass Joe. The guy you play as.
Oh, I know who you're talking. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, none of us know it, so the joke is lost because I screwed the pooch on
Well, you
this
did
one.
screw that one. Yes, you did.
Okay, so they come out with the 1-2 punch. It feels like the first time. And you know what? If you don't like this song, you have no soul. This is a good song. It's cheesy as fuck, but it's a fun cheese. You're dipping your chips in it. You got some pretzels. You're having a good time. And it feels like it's the first time you've ever dipped your pretzels into the cheese and then took the pretzel out and put it back in.
No
Yeah.
more sports talk, please.
That was not sports talk.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
That was pretzel into the moist cheese talk.
I think we got it. Yeah. We got
Okay,
it.
do we get that? Do we know where we're going?
Keith
Anyway.
is like fucking freebasing his meds over there.
he's got a spoon and a lighter.
Cook up that Xanax, baby. Dude, I have that exact sorter. Hey, does
I'm
yours
just gonna
pop
hold
out?
this up for yeah.
Does yours pop out individually so you can take them with you to the show? Like the little sections
No,
pop
that
out?
would be smart if they
I
Okay,
bet you
can
it
we?
does, but
Okay,
anyway.
Keefy,
Maybe
tell
they
me about
do.
how great this song is.
This song is inarguably fantastic. It's
There we go. There we go.
it's you can't get away from it. These first few, the three hit songs on here are all 10 of 10s. Every other song on here, not so much. Great
What do you got,
guitar
Don?
parts, great singing. I like the song.
So here's the deal: is that like
Oh, that's a pause. Nope.
so not knowing anything but the hits of this band, like I did not know what songs were on what album except for four because I feel like that's the one that like I know Head Games was on Head Games. You know what I mean? Like except for
And
that.
Double Vision is on
Double Vision.
Double Vision. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I knew that much, but
Also,
like so
Foreigner plays on Foreigner.
yeah, some of them do.
Some
It's
of
not
them.
all of it. Well, yeah, but so in my mind, I'm going, okay, so I'm going to listen to this first 4 hour album. I'm thinking like, is this going to be like early Priest, early, where like they had the first
Wow,
two.
you know,
Well, no,
no.
hold on. Let me state my case. Where like in a band, like those guys, where they had like the first 2 albums or 3 albums were significantly different from what the rest of their output would be later. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, so did Foreigner do something that was like oddly substantial before going into this, but no, man, they came right out of the
They did not.
fucking
They did
gates with feels like that. And I was just, I knew this was going to be a rough trip for me, you know, like,
All right, you know what? You are being mean. You are not supporting this clearly great song. This is like hating on the Beatles. My friends, you're cold as ice. Pulling a little bit of the DMA into this one now that I'm doing some links. Cold as ice, man. In the Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode where Carl acquires the Foreigner belt. Ignignot and had it first, and they sang that song, and Carl's head got encased in ice. Again, objectively amazing track, and we've got 2 tracks in a row that are under 4 minutes. They are just totally nailing the glam pop rock time frame. You know, they are doing the intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, verse, outro.
mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, they are showing Kiss what Kiss always wanted to be at this point.
Oh, that's fighting words, actually.
It's true.
No, I don't
It's
think
true.
so. No.
And I'm going to point out that for most of my very young youth, while I was a huge Kiss fan in my mind, I thought Hot Blooded was a Kiss tune. Keefy, you're up.
I would not pick any one member of Foreigner over any one member of Kiss, past, present, or future. You're
Thank
out of your
you.
mind.
Thank you.
Even Mark St. John.
I was
Even
just
Mark
gonna
St.
say that. You fucker took it out of my
Why
mouth.
would you bring up Mark St. John? Why?
Even Tommy Thayer.
I mean, Tommy's a fair forgery, man. He can do it. I don't know. I mean, look, like Lou has a great voice. Mick is a great guitar player. Are these the great? Would I pick them in the draft? Another sports fucking thing. I wouldn't pick them number 1 for anything. Oh, it's starting a band. None of these guys I would pick. Maybe Ian McDonald is a backup
Greater
guy.
than the sum of their parts.
I don't see it, but okay.
I'm terrible at math, so
These two songs are great. These 2 songs are great. After this, it's a huge fall off a cliff, bro.
Yeah.
It's a Quiet Riot level fall off a cliff, Nick.
Whoa,
right.
whoa.
Well, hold on real quick. Before you go, I do have to say
You're up.
though,
You don't got to go quick. You're up.
While I was not excited about the tunes and I was just like that, the best way I could always describe these kinds of songs is that it's uninsulting. You know, like it's uninsulting.
It's very polite.
But it was nothing that like I would walk into a store, like a record store, and go, "Who is that? I want to hear. I want more of that." You know, like I would just walk in and go, yeah, cool. It's not Madonna."
Alrighty,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
whatever.
move. I'm gonna move this along. Now I may be wrong, but Star Rider to me was the prog rock opus of this record. Without the prog, just the prog rock attitude.
Surely without the opus also.
It was also missing the opus. Yeah, I was just gonna, and the rock actually, to be honest. It was missing everything, to be honest.
I'm like, you know what? This song is pretty damn good. It's bad in a great way. It's a bad song. They could not do what they were trying to do. It's an abject failure from top to bottom, but they look good doing it.
I wrote notes about each of the songs. Like I just wrote like a little.
This is Foreigner, sir. You don't need to do that.
Well, no, what I did, because I do this to my challenge, is to try to come up with just like one line, maybe like 3 or 4 words. And what I have here is not cool psych rock. It was like they were trying to get their talons into things on this album, and they weren't able to pick anything up. So they were just taking little slivers.
Okay, except for those the first 2 tracks, you're wrong. But on this one, you're totally right. Keefy, do you got anything you need to say about this one?
Yeah, I first of all, as to make myself amused, because this shit is depressing, this whole album, except for a couple of songs, I call this Dick Rider instead of Star Rider. When you let the keyboard player, who is in the Hall of Fame with the rest of the band members, Al Greenwood, when you let the keyboard player come in with a song, and then he's like, "Hey, I heard Boston last year. Do something similar," and then it's like 40% less quality of the Boston song he was trying to do. This is what you get.
See, that's exactly what I was saying. It's like
they let Ringo write a song. Oh, look, Ringo wrote a song. We'll put it here. We're not going to put it on the record, but we'll put it here on the refrigerator. We'll all look at the song and we'll write.
You have the worst fucking British accent, by the way.
They did. Nick is bad at accents. I'm much better.
I'm really good at accents. That is me being funny. Thank you.
They did put Ringo's songs on the record, but you really have to question these guys. Were they really the geniuses we think they are? Because they let Ringo actually write songs made it on the records.
And by the way, just to
I'd
own
like
up to
to
it,
be-
I
That
thought
was, for the record, that was me doing Keefy doing an English accent. That was me impersonating Keefy's English accent. If you would like
Fair
to hear
enough.
my English accent, here is my RP. Is this better for you, sir?
no, not really.
No,
Fuck you both.
Sorry. You sound like a drunk Canadian.
By the way, like my favorite, one of my favorite
trying to be British.
One of my favorite comedy bits of all time. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mike Birbiglia.
Yes, I am. The sleepwalker.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Mike Birbiglia is like, I have a very white voice, but I sound like a white guy being imitated by a black comedian imitating a white guy. So I'm so outlandishly white that I sound like a caricature of someone else doing a caricature of a white guy. That's what Nick's British accent is.
All right, can we go on into Head Knocker? Because it
Also
just got,
known as Fart Knocker.
I don't know if anybody noticed, but it got brutal up in here all of a sudden. I have no memory of this song. Next.
Actually, can we also just talk about that is like the most untough song with a trying to be tough title that
Is there
equally as
anything
untough.
tough in their entire discography? No, sir, there is not.
But they really want it to be.
Yeah,
Like,
they had long hair, and there was a
I'm a
time
head
in their
knocker.
lives where they remembered that if you had long hair, you had to fight. But it
I'm
was
a
way
dirty
bef-
white boy. Like they are nothing. They're none
No,
of this.
they're very bland. This is mayonnaise on white toast.
Oh,
Thin Lizzy
Or
would have stabbed
fried
these
chicken.
guys to death
with
the
American
first
cheese on
second.
top of it.
4 fried chickens and
Do you
a
have any
Coke
other thoughts,
and
Don?
dry white toast.
About Fart Knocker, I mean Head Knocker or anything.
Just the song. We're moving on. We got to go through all the songs.
I just think that at this point in the album, I think like what Keith said, it just starts to drop off. Like they come out with two of their biggest hits. I mean, the two biggest hits of their album at the time.
Well, yeah,
But
they
like,
front loaded. They front loaded.
Nothing. Yeah, totally. But then like
We're in the
I don't
soft.
know.
We're in the soft underbelly. But the good news is the damage is done, and it's all bangers from here.
No.
Well, the
And
next
by the
track
way,
is, the next
just
track
wanted
is
to-
called "The Damage Is Done," though.
I wanted to chime in that one Star Writer. I freaked out when I read the credits. I was like, Al Greenwood. And I realized it wasn't Lee Greenwood. It was
Yeah,
Al
I
Well,
had
Lee
the
Greenwood
same
is
thing.
terrible.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
all.
Lee-
I saw him.
yeah.
I've seen him in concert. I got.
If your
we were
name is
kissing him.
Greenwood, your last name, please change it. The best thing about Head Knocker is it's the shortest song on the album. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, moving on to "The Damage Is Done." This is a song that's on the album that does not ring any bells, but it's fine. This is the okayest record there is. Completely okayest.
No, I don't think so.
Moving on.
So Damage Is Done. I have that it sounds like 13 other Foreigner songs.
I have no recollection of this song.
I don't either. But this is why I make notes, because I knew it was important for this one, because I was actually listening to these albums in order at one point while I was working. I had no idea where I was in the catalog until I
Oh,
realized
I didn't.
that
I
was
listened to this
actually,
one time. I wanted to listen to good records today.
Yeah, no, I actually realized I was into the third album before I was like, what happened? I lost
Wow.
time. It was
I listened to the new Coma Hole today because I had an interview with them, and I listened to Better Lovers because I'm still working on that review.
well, I saw Emma Ruth Rundle last night
I'm so jealous.
in Raleigh, and she was fucking fantastic.
Did she play solo or with accompaniment?
She played solo, man. It
Just
was
piano and guitar?
No, it was just acoustic baritone guitar and then an electric
work.
baritone guitar, and she was
Okay.
fantastic. Sweet as
seen her
could be,
do-
by the way, too. She's
Yeah, super
total
nice.
sweetheart. Yeah.
I've seen her do some piano shows. She's great.
Mhm.
I think we flipped the record here, Nick.
Flip the record, and then after you flip it, you put the needle on the record, and then we get "Long, Long Way from Home." Start the second side strongish. I think this was a single. I don't really know. I was one.
It was a
I
single.
gotta. You know what? For all my protestations about this not being a 30-70 record, this might be a 30-70 record. It actually might be a 30-60-10 record, which would be the first one, because as after Star Rider, it goes really, really milquetoast and completely forgettable all the way down. But I will listen to this record again and enjoy it.
I kind of
That's
want
the
a
part that
dramatic.
disturbs me.
I
Yeah.
kind of want a dramatic reading of the song titles from Nick for the rest of the album, just to make it a little more spicy. But yeah. Any thoughts,
Okay,
Don,
okay.
on Long Long? Not yet, Don. Any thoughts on Long Long Way from Home?
Honestly, like I have no recollection of the song other than on my note it says Ian McDonald from King Crimson question mark. Like it was
I would rather
just,
have
you
Michael
know,
McDonald from the
yeah.
Doobie Brothers.
Oh, I would
Also
not
from
rather
St.
have that ever, but
Also from
I
St.
do have to
Louis.
say that if Nick is going to do this reading, that he should do it in William Shatner's voice.
Oh, I was already there.
Woman,
Woman. Oh, woman.
woman.
Oh, woman. I don't know this song. I listened to it. I have it. I legitimately have this on vinyl, and this stuff just goes away, man. This is like rain in Arizona. You know water's coming. You look up, you see the rain coming. By the time it hits you, it's just evaporated.
Also known as Georgia Snow.
Well, I'm not from the South, sir. I'm a wish Yankee.
You should be proud of that.
I
You
am.
know?
One of the greatest things in my life, or the greatest moment of my life. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, my last job. I'm on a work trip, and I'm at another branch for a company, and we're at a barbecue joint. And I don't really much care to go to barbecue restaurants because barbecue to me is an activity more than a food, and because it's easier to drink and cheaper while you're doing it rather than being at the restaurant where they charge you $7 a beer, where I can buy a 6-pack for 10, and the math works out really well that way. And they asked me what I want to drink, and I'm like, Coke, I guess. And my guy looks at me, and we call him Sling Blade because he talks like this. I swear to God, he actually has a normal voice. He's like, you damn Yankee, you're not gonna get sweet tea. And I'm like, Jason, thank you. Finally, someone called me a Yankee.
Sling Blade, which also starred the legendary Colonel Bruce Hampton, retired from Atlanta, Georgia.
Also starred famous St. Louis Cardinals fan Billy Bob Thornton.
Sports again. There we go.
Sorry, no, that's a St. Louis thing.
I'll take that.
Did anybody want to say anything about this song? Because I don't think anybody does.
This song sucks.
It was
Anyway,
fucking. It was great value, Elton John. That's all I had.
Wow, it's like Timu Elton John. It's like Wish.com.
Yeah, it'd be like if you
Alrighty.
ordered Elton John off of Temu with like, the 70% off discount from the spin wheel.
Oh, we
pop-up.
got the spin wheel. I always get 100% off, and I'm like, I'm still not giving you my credit card.
I refuse. Absolutely.
But I do hit that wheel every time because I'm an idiot.
So do I. And you always get 100% off.
It's always
Which I
100.
still can't figure that out. But all I can tell you is that my father-in-law ordered 5 digital clocks for their house for like $12, and he was so excited about it. And I was like, they're gonna die by the end of the month. I promise you.
They even made it there. They made anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, it took them 2 months to get it.
The
That says a lot,
humans
yeah.
and the Vulcans are at war with the world. I don't know if I have a good Shatner. I'm sorry, I'm trying. Oh, am I supposed to talk?
Well, just like pass the baton to Don.
Okay, Don, you go.
I take it. Nick has no.
No, I
contribution.
got no contribution on the rest of these songs because they're good. They got solos, they got choruses, they got words, they got attractive dudes in satin. That's all I can. I
More like denim, no satin.
Are we
on
still
the-
talking about Foreigner?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, like he said, attractive guys. I'm like,
Oh, come on.
Satin.
Mick Jones back in the
No
day
satin.
was attractive. There's
yeah,
satin.
no.
Hail
on this-
satin, hail satin, the finest of the fabrics.
On this album, they're
softest
wearing
of
like
all
London.
deities.
They're wearing London Foggies. They got
Is
the
that what
London
it was?
Foggy trench
I
coats.
was trying to look at this album cover, which was
And they got
just absolutely-
suitcases. They got suitcases. That's not stupid.
I feel like I have seen Lou Graham at least one time wear like a denim on denim thing for no
Canadian
reason.
tuxedo.
I
Yeah.
feel like that. I feel like that would have been probably like that Midnight Blue solo Lou Graham era, where he was like denim on Nikes, But
Pumas.
I don't know. At war with the world again, like, and you could. This is again where like I actually stopped even trying. But I actually have great value Deep Purple. I mean, the thing is that when I was listening to these songs, and I think this is what it was with Foreigner, was that nothing about them screamed like, we're doing something really, truly great. It was like they were dipping their pretzel sticks in all the different
I
cheeses.
was gonna say they were
But
Louis from the state dipping their balls in it, but you use whatever euphemism you
they
want.
did, but they didn't even get the underwear off to go balls deep on this stuff. Like it's like they were just like rubbing it on the front, and they're going,
They
look,
just
I got
ruined the cheese whiz, and not even for a good reason.
right, and so as I'm listening to these songs, I mean, like from top to bottom, like none of it was like to me was so god awful, but at the same time it was so forgettable, and it was just like, especially after Cold as Ice, as the song, I'm going, okay, they trying to sound like this, they're trying to dip into this, they're trying to do this, but they're not doing it well at all, and somehow they got huge
But they got
not
huge
doing
because
music
we're
good.
we're talking about an era of the world where one hit gets you. Pink Floyd, which the oft mentioned Pink Floyd, they hit it big with Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
They hit it big with Breathe. They turned their crazy progressiveness into chapters. They did what the record companies did to Rush on their own.
They made art rock accessible.
Correct. But by chopping it up, these are
Exactly.
chapters.
Yeah.
And that's why the record label went, oh, thank you for this 48-minute opus 2112. We're going to release a 2-minute 30 called 2112, which is just a little hunk of this, and you'll be famous. And they were. And that's, in this era, that's all it takes. It takes one song. I mean, we both agree, all three of us agreed at the beginning of this, at the top of the tracks, feels like the first time in Cold as Ice are abject bangers. These are abject 70s rock, bordering on yacht rock, bordering on glam bangers. And because
I don't think they're bangers though.
They are, you're wrong. Because
I correct you. You're wrong for saying I'm wrong. Keith, he said I'm wrong.
Nick, be nice to our guests. He's not going to want to come back.
You are incorrect, and you got to come back next week. You already agreed. You
Okay, I'll
gave
be
your
here.
gentleman's agreement.
I'll be
And
here.
you have to listen to the next record, which I don't know what it's called. It's either Head Games or Double Vision, something. I'll check it out. I'll find that on Wikipedia. It's fine. I got it. I'll listen.
It's Double Vision. Is
It's
the
Double
next one.
Vision.
It's probably their best record.
Is that the one where the lady's on the toilet? The men's toilet?
No, that would be head. Wait, what is
Head
that one?
Games?
'Cause
Head
I wrote.
Games.
I think it's Head Games, which
Oh,
like
God,
yeah.
that album cover is so creepy.
Which, by the way, if you pull it up on Spotify, it's animated.
I don't need that.
Her hands
even-
going.
No one needs that.
That's even
I'm gonna,
worse.
I'm gonna jump
know.
in here.
Go ahead, you jump in.
I'm gonna like even long, long away from home. To me, I guess it was a hit song. I don't remember this being a good song. It's short and it's passable. None of these are good. This whole side 2 is completely shitty.
It's unnecessary.
And it's super. These songs are like all 2 minutes too long. Like if all the songs, like except for Woman Oh Woman, if they were all like under 4 minutes, it'd be more enjoyable. But it's not.
I'm going to point out what the side of the record you like better. All the songs are shorter.
That's
The
true.
side you hate, all
Well,
the
it's the
songs
side
are
with the
longer.
2 good ones, and
Well,
then
yeah,
even
the
the one hit on side 2 isn't that, to me, is not even that good a song. But again,
Well, I mean, that was the
Um,
formula for 70s rock, right? Was to put
yeah, for
your
sure.
hit songs heavy load.
Yeah, by the time you get to the
Front
third
load
or
on
fourth
heavy.
track, you're already high.
You want to get your
Yeah.
mind blown? You want to get your minds blown completely?
How much
our
is it
dear
going to cost?
You got some Labrador, you
no.
got some Great Dane there. What do we got? What are we talking?
These two,
Some Labrador.
these two,
Nice
these
reference.
two-
man.
Thank you.
I have to start muting you guys so I can talk. This album, not counting streaming, has sold 6 million physical copies. Holy fuck!
In fairness, a record only cost $4 back then, and minimum wage was like $1. So you could work at Max for one shift and get a record. If you worked at Max for a week, you do your 20 hours, you're You're gonna pull home like $15. You can buy a record, all your smokes for the week, and you can fill up your goddamn GTO that you paid $200 for the week before. The 70s were a wild time, man. Everything was cheap. Not like now.
But that's interesting how you're talking about the number of units that this album shifted, because as we have seen also as time progressed, mediums changed, going into CDs, going into digital, like that's a lot of records, but at the same time, it wasn't the oversaturation that we had, so like it was pretty slim pickings, like, so if you liked Zeppelin, you had all the Zeppelin already. You know what I mean? Like if you liked Kiss, you liked Kiss.
True.
Foreigner was going to be on the radio, sandwiched between the two at some
We're
point.
also talking about a time when bands like Kiss at this time was putting out 1.5 records minimum per year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, we're also talking about an era where the only home entertainment are board games and records.
Mm-hmm.
And
or 8-tracks with the 8-track cassette adapter.
It's the same thing.
I just had to throw that in there because I liked it. So.
Thank you, Captain Contrarian. That is my job.
And I had one, so.
So here's a thought. Like, Nick, you're not going to have anything to say about these last couple of songs.
No,
I have nothing to say about these
nobody
last
does.
I have nothing.
songs.
And that's the worst thing I could say.
Even Don with his notes has nothing. So
that's the worst thing I could say about a song is I don't remember it. It didn't hold.
This is one of I'm sure we haven't even
about
done
any song.
There are probably not 3 albums we have ever done together in like 180 episodes, me and Nick, where we gave up on an album 3/4 of the way through. We couldn't even finish it.
We're like 80%. We're 80%.
How is this band in the Hall of Fame if we can't even finish their
because they sold
album?
6 million records of this damn thing. They sold 6 million records on this fucking. It's a mayonnaise sandwich on Wonder Bread.
So check this out. I heard a great analogy, not a sports analogy, a nerd culture analogy. So the Venom threequel is out. Venom: The Last Dance. I saw it.
Yeah.
It's a movie that was made. I love Tom Hardy and I love the Venom character because I was a big Venom comic book fan. These movies are not necessary. And Ryan Airy of Screen Crush, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, said, like, I almost wish the first Venom movie bombed so Sony would not have been able to make any of these other horrible movies that are all trying to be Spider-Man movies with no Spider-Man.
So they should have gotten Ryan Reynolds. So they should have gotten Ryan Reynolds to play Venom instead of Tom Hardy.
No, it doesn't matter who Venom is because the movie sucks. It doesn't matter.
I was making a Green Lantern joke.
I guess. Anyway,
I'm trying.
My point gone out the window. Thanks, Nick. This album is like you said, Deep Purple from Wish earlier, Don. Like this whole album is like we wish we were Deep Purple and we're not, and it's frustrating because you know that they can make good songs, and a lot of bands don't have. I mean, like actually, the Metallica series is like one of the only series Nick and I have done where the albums are actually good all the way through, mostly, even though Nick
all the way through. Even the first one we did in the 90s are good all the way through.
Well, you don't like
not Load and Reload.
Cool. You don't like a few songs on the Black Album. That surprises me, but like
30.
Whoever I may roam rules. I don't care.
Hate that song.
It's not 30,
that's one of the better
it's like
songs
60-40. It's like a 60-40, 70-30 album by Metallica. You just a hater. What a shame that this band is again, it's like I'm not hating to hate. I'm just like, if you listen to this objectively, Lick fans, come out here in the comments and tell me if you listen to this record, if you disagree with us, please show me where there's more than 3 good songs on here, and really it's 2.5. So like I don't understand.
I don't know, man. I feel like people who would die on a hill for this album were the ones that saw Motley Crue 2 summers ago and said they were amazing. It's like you wrap yourself up in nostalgia, you wrap yourself up in the time and the era that it came out, and you kind of overblow the idea of what the album was. You go see the tours, you see the hits played, you drink like 3 or 4 White Claws, and you're like, woohoo, I got a sitter.
When I saw them, I was drinking IPAs, but that's just
all right. But which is basically toilet water. But I digress on that. But actually, not all IPAs. So there's a couple that are.
We're closing in on enemies, so tread lightly.
Yeah.
My issue with this record, and I think going to fall into this trap as we go forward through the entire series. It's a lot like the Queen series, and by no stretch am I saying Foreigner can hold any candles to Sir Dr. Brian May OBE and the other guys that are also in the band. But those Queen records were terrible. And it was the longest series we ever did. We did 9 weeks of Queen. And
But see, that's the thing, though, is that a lot of those albums were bloated.
How many of those records were good? Like, legitimately good records? Less than I own.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4. I have Queen, I have Night at the Opera, I have Day at the Races, and I have Flash Gordon. Queen is really good. Then there are also other records that I have that have a song or two, and my ass probably shouldn't have spent $50 on Queen, A Day at the Races from Japan, but here I am, and I did it. And I think we're going to find that Foreigner, much like Queen, much like Johnny Cash, is a greatest hits band.
Mm-hmm.
Much like Motley Crue, much like Quiet Riot, although Quiet Riot's greatest hits would be a 7-inch on 33. 7-inch on 33. But
I thought their greatest hits was Metal Health and then 2 songs off of Condition Critical, pretty much.
Yeah, to get 3 songs on a 7-inch, you got to go at 33 RPM, though.
Yeah, I'll take that one, though. But you know what? I will.
But you'd have to have one filler track.
I will say what Keith said, though, and that was one of the things that did pop to me that I didn't bring up, was that musically, like, they have the skill.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I can hear it. Like, I can hear that they've got the ability. They've got the potential to really be a great technical band. But here's the thing that hit me, and I couldn't quite figure out, maybe you guys can answer this, or you guys thought about this, is that throughout the album, I couldn't figure out if Lou Gramm was like kind of like a saving force because his voice was great and that he was just singing really bad lyrics. But in my mind, when I tried to picture his voice singing lyrics that were good, I couldn't. So does that make sense? Like it's like this weird, like,
lyrically, they're
okay.
To quote my man Spizzy Spose, lyrically they're not the best. Physically, they're the opposite of Randy Moss.
Mm-hmm.
But due to the preposterous, feel the awesomeness that is the first 2 songs, and understand that there are other songs too. However, now again, I have seen Foreigner at least 4 times. I am not sure how many it is. At least 4.
Were any of those with Lou Gramm?
No. He there. I asked Lawyer Wife if she wanted to see the voice of Foreigner or what passes for Foreigner, and she said Foreigner, which I took to mean what passes for Foreigner. We should have seen Lou Gramm, but we did not see Lou Gramm. Anywho, I know 2 of these songs.
This is brutal. Please end this.
I'm done. I'm done.
Well, I wanted. Oh, so you're not even gonna. This is the wrap up. You're already done.
This is my wrap up. This is a
take it behind the barn and get rid of it.
It's a mayonnaise sandwich with 2 bites of salami.
Okay. Well, then it's your turn to do the outro. Don,
my turn. Okay.
I'm deeply sorry we didn't pick a better band for you to be part of this.
Oh no! No!
It sucked so bad.
No! Don did this to himself.
I hope I passed the audition enough that maybe I'll come back. I can come back when we're talking about a good band or a great band.
Whoa! Look at us with the big britches. Need a few more better jokes than that one, but
call me back when we do the Ringo solo albums, and like we'll talk.
Oh shit! You know what we need to do? A series on Beatles solo records. I'll pick them.
George Harrison's Cloud 9 album is like the best Jeff Lynne album.
Is that the one where he's like wearing the Hawaiian shirt on the boat?
Yeah.
I have that. I got that.
Dude, title track of that album.
We're not doing that one.
Incredible.
Definitely not doing that.
But I will say, though, like to kind of go back to what you were talking about, just to wrap up my end of it, was that it's forgettable.
Yeah.
It's friendly. It's uninsulting. Like if I was at someone's house and they were playing it, like in my mind, I would be making fun of them.
Okay,
but at
here's
the same
the thing.
time, I would be like, it could be worse.
You're at your buddy's house. He drops the needle on track 1. This is my sum up. I'm going to finish and I'm going to do the outro. He puts the needle on track 1. By the time you get to track 3, you've had a couple of beers because it's the 70s and you're pounding that shit with a beer bong. Mm-hmm. You got a pipe in one hand to get the pot in, and you're like just really going to town. Maybe you got some Quaaludes in you by this. They're kicking in. Star Rider hits, and all of a sudden you're on this amazing, amazing trip that's not nearly as good as Dogs, which came out the same year. But those first 2 tracks were fun and great, so you ride the wave. And that's this record. They rode the wave off 2 great tracks. Keefy, I'm almost sorry that I put you through this. Don,
Me too.
You brought this on yourself.
It's an educational moment. I feel like this was like a reading rainbow,
what you should never do is encourage me to do stupid shit, because I won't back down. And we might add 2 more records onto the series. Keefy will probably drop out. I'll have to get a third co-host.
Wow.
Oh, no.
I'm down for the challenge, but all I can tell you is that
see if Duncan would put up with this. Even Duncan wouldn't allow.
No, Duncan's got things going on, like real, anyway. So, Don, thank you very much for joining us this week. Thank you very much for being part of the great experiment of us having a guest for every episode in a musical series. Keefy, thank you for being a great sport. You have been a wonderful partner this entire time, and I assume you will continue to be after this, hopefully. Promises not made, cannot make them. But if you have listened this far, you are amazing. You are awesome. And you, much like Keefy, probably love Lord of the Rings. One does simply not talk to the algorithm. One must cut down the algorithm by hobbiting. I don't know, something. Gandalf, Stick, Mordor, go there. Just so like and subscribe. We are having a vinyl giveaway. And I'm going to give up the ghost and say one person is going to get a Foreigner record from this series.
Please remove my name from the hat.
People are going to totally unsubscribe now. Why didn't you say this at the beginning of the episode, not the end?
The number of subscribers
nobody's
ticking down super fast.
Yeah, nobody's possibly listening now. We're going to wind up after the giveaway with less
There are 2 bundles. There are 2 bundles I'm giving away. A Metallica bundle and a Pink Floyd bundle. Pick one. Whoever wins gets to pick. Anywho, thank you very much for listening. Like, subscribe, reach around. Thank you very much. This has been the Glacially Musical Podcast. It does not play in Peoria.
Thank you for having me.